This is something that I've never heard anyone say when I watched all of those tutorials on Pincha, and I'm just so surprised. And I want to warn you, I want to prepare you, I want to tell you that it's okay, that it gets better. Hi friends, my name is Molly. Today I'm going to be talking about my journey to Pincha MAYURASANA, aka forearm stand. So I'm not here to teach you a forearm stand. There's a lot of YouTube yoga teachers that will provide a lot of good tutorials for you. I'm here to share my experience getting to a Pincha, what helped me and what I wish I knew when I started, and kind of filling up few gaps that I was missing on YouTube. I hope this helps you. Stay tuned for the end of the video to hear all of the tips and kind of have a full picture of what helps to achieve Pincha. So you want to do a forearm stand. It's a very, very difficult pose, and I think it's more difficult than handstand. I'm trying to achieve handstands right now and I'm practicing it a lot. And to be honest, I find Pincha way harder. It goes to show how much a Pincha requires of your shoulder mobility. Don't have expectations, just have fun with it and enjoy getting your strength, because this is my favorite part about getting into Pincha. So yeah, the first advice I would give is to explore your body awareness. So have you ever tried any other inversions before trying Pincha? Play around in headstand at first, for example, to kind of have an awareness what it's like to lean into your shoulders. You would think headstand is on your head, duh, but it's not actually. You putting most of your weight into your shoulders. So it's a good way to start making your body aware of putting your weight into shoulders. This is how I started, and headstand was very helpful to kind of get the shoulder awareness and also to get that body pike. If you're going to be upside down at first in a headstand, this will help you a lot because you will already have an idea what it's like to have your body upside down. The next experience piece I would give you from learning to do Pincha is falling. If you're doing headstand, if you're doing Pincha, you're going to be falling a lot. That's just part of it. And I just noticed a lot of people have that fear of just falling. That's probably the only advantage I kind of had in the beginning of my journey, is that I was not afraid to fall for some reason. I was just okay with just flopping around and just boom, boom, boom. And I was practicing for forearm stands and headstands, and it was just constant boom. So yeah, you're gonna be falling a lot. Get used to it. I guess I can't just tell you don't be scared of falling, because that's not how it works. You're gonna have to get comfortable with if you want to explore inversions further, because that's just part of it, and it is fun in a way, I guess. If you just learn to have fun with it, be prepared, you're warned. The next tip would be drills, 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 drills. Your shoulders are probably not strong enough to do Pincha because it's a lot of shoulder strength. My arms, I strained my shoulder recently. I don't want to talk about it. I naturally don't have much strength in my arms, and I had to build up a lot of strength. And maybe you're already strong in your shoulders. That's great. In most cases, I guess you would need to build up strength with drills. I personally really like dolphin push-ups. They're called dolphin push-ups, I think. You can just insert them in your practice every other day and just build up strength slowly but surely. There's a lot of other Pincha exercises that you can explore just to build up strength in your shoulders. This is kind of a tip I would just give, is to implement drills into your practice, even if you're not going to do Pincha, which are boring sometimes, but it helps the overall picture. And if you are going to implement them in your practice, just in some ways, just drop it, a few push-ups here and there, I think that's fun, and I think that just helps you to pump up your practice. The next tip I would give is to warm up. So I guess that's self-explanatory that you need to warm up to do that sort of position, but I just want to accent on the fact that it's not just your shoulders that are working, it's your whole body. You need everything to be engaged. So it's important before you actually come into Pincha position to warm up every part of your body, to warm up your shoulders, to do some ab exercises to connect your core to your legs, to just engage your core, just engage your whole body in whatever way comes in your practice. The next step would be to let your body to feel the balance. So even if you're really jacked, you will kick up into Pincha and you will not hold it, even if you're really strong, just because your body is not used to that position. Your body is not used to finding that balance. So kicking up and just letting your body understand what the balance of Pincha is very important. You're gonna fall over, but it's important just keep kicking up and letting your body to kind of be like, oh, that's the moment where the Pincha works, or sort of the balance, and then it falls.
Just a little balance catching.
the more you do it, the more body just understands. If it's your first sort of attempt at doing pincha, obviously your body doesn't even know what to do because it's never been in those positions. So you'll need to explore that. I just kicked up, held it a bit, and fell over. So this is where my next tip comes, is to squeeze, tuck, squeeze constantly. Like, you forget about it, you're out of it. You need your whole body to be engaged. You might find the balance in the pincha. You might be in there and just find the balance. You're like, oh, I found the balance. You won't stay in the pincha unless your whole body is engaged. You can't just like drop the whole weight on your shoulders and expect to just the fate take you into this pose. Because you will balance for like a second or two, but what really holds you up is the balance and the strength of your whole body being engaged and being in the stick. If you may be struggling with finding that tuck and that squeeze, it's very good to kind of come back to headstand and practice that tuck of your belly, squeeze of your thighs. I still go into it and I fall and I remember that I need to tuck, that I need to squeeze. I have pretty long legs and big thighs. It's a lot to hold, a lot to squeeze. I definitely need to always bring my attention to squeezing and tightening everything. Otherwise, you're just gonna be a wobbly little thing. It's your body you're working with. No one else's body is the same. I'm relatively skinny. I have, like I said, very heavy legs, weak arms naturally. There's no standard for body that you need to have to be able to do pinch. Just remember, it's your body you're working with. It might take you longer. You might get there faster than others. Obey to your body. If you are gonna push your body towards your pride and ego, it is gonna rebel, and that's not good. Be kind to your body, challenge it, but listen to it. So be aware. This is a very cool part about doing pincha, is that you really do learn to talk to your body, because it's a full body posture, which really does require you to be aware of every part. Okay, the next thing, your elbows will freaking bleed. This is something that I've never heard anyone say when I watched all of those tutorials on pincha, and I'm just so surprised. And I want to warn you, I want to prepare you, I want to tell you that it's okay, that it gets better. Still have stains of blood on my yoga mat. It depends on how sensitive your elbows are. Mine are pretty sharp, and apparently my skin is pretty thin. But now I have kind of developed sort of little calluses, which helps me to do pincha, but it's still really sensitive sometimes. What I recommend you to do if you notice your elbows are sensitive, I basically took my old sock, I cut off a top, then I rolled it twice, maybe 3 times if you need like extra padding, and I used it as my elbow pads. Like, I still use them sometimes when I feel like very sensitive. But yeah, basically this is how I do pincha. You can see it in a lot of my videos that I'm wearing socks on my elbows. That's just what I do, okay? I'm just warning you because no one told me that your elbows are gonna bleed and you still wanna do pincha. You're passionate, okay? Just like me, I feel you. But here's the solution, okay? It's still gonna bleed, you still need to take breaks. My friend, and she literally just did it like once or twice next to a wall. Whole elbow just started bleeding. I thought I'm sensitive. The last thing that I would mention, obviously if your motivation is purely having that post for Instagram and Instagram feed looking good, it's probably not the best motivation because it's just not gonna last long. If it is, I love your Instagram dedication. One of the best things about doing pincha is how much strength you develop and how much fun you have in like upside down position and just being able to balance it even for a few seconds. That's just very cool feeling. It's very easy to get discouraged because this posture, from my experience, takes a lot of work. It's important for me to stay motivated. That's why I watched a lot of tutorials, even if I already knew how to do it. It's just important for me to remind myself if I'm doing everything right. Watch every pincha tutorial, do every pincha flow. How do you implement it into your flow? How do you work with drills and kind of build up to pincha? So it's very important to keep yourself constantly engaged in pincha information, to keep your motivation going and to keep your perspective going on it. Maybe make a little Pinterest mood board of like girls and boys doing pincha and just like look at it before you practice, because this just always motivates me to look at cool postures on Pinterest. I want to be that strong. It's really cool to kind of have that visual sort of goal, to know what you're working for, and that those people that you see on the Pinterest, they worked for it too. Like I said, pincha is still very hard to post for me. I'm very humbled by it all the time. Don't get discouraged, like I said. Keep yourself motivated. Use this video as motivation, but not not education. There's a lot of material on YouTube. There's a lot of teachers that would have a class with you and kind of help you in person if that helps you more. I'm done. Please enjoy your practice and take it easy. I'm just so happy this information is out here. This was like a whole conspiracy theory to me. Like, why is no one talking about it? Like, it's right here. They're bleeding. Like, everyone's probably bleeding, but no one's talking about it. Like, that's scary. And don't forget about your best friend, consistency. You got this. I hope to see you soon.